Welcome to Mr. Moon has left the building, Ad. How are you, mate?
I'm all right, mate. Another week in paradise for us West Ham fans, eh?
It's like, as I say, it's really funny because it's the first time in a while the fan base seems to be completely on the same page.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's one good thing that's come out of it, I guess.
Really sad, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And like I was mentioning last week, it's just where is this and how is this going to end? It seems
and it's
like
funny because we've both, like I said, I thought we were going to go down this year, but I hoped it wasn't the case.
You were quite adamant about this. I saw a little bit of light, but you've always been adamant. But
from
now,
last season, I said it.
Yeah, but just the first performances for me, and now I can see it as well.
Because I said it through pre-season when we were winning the game.
Yeah.
I said it exactly. I said I'm convinced, and I said the same with Man United. I'm convinced that he is not the man, and they have gone nowhere. They've brought in a couple of good forwards, but their midfield is still appalling, and their back line is still, and the keeper is one of the worst I've ever seen. Maybe worse than the West Ham keeper. So I wish I weren't right. I've got to be honest with you. This is not one I'm like I want to be right on. It's devastating, to be honest with you. I'm actually think we're seeing the death of our club in front of us if something is not done right now, and I don't think that something is. We'll go on to it in a minute, but just shying a couple of signings. I don't think that is the answer. It runs much deeper than the problems. Take it to Chelsea. What was your prediction?
I said 3-1 Chelsea.
I said 4-1 and they got the 5, didn't they?
Yeah.
So Chelsea, it wasn't any surprise to us. I don't think to many West Ham fans, to be honest with you. What the surprise was we started well.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That was the biggest surprise.
We did start. What I will say is Chelsea were poor. In actual fact, they were terrible, Chelsea. They were all over the place. Their goalkeeper was all over the place. Midfield was non-existent to start. And I looked at them and I thought, cool, I actually tipped Chelsea to really do something in this league this year. And I looked at them and I thought, no, these definitely won't.
No.
Then they made us look but I actually think they took their foot completely off the brake as well. So,
I mean,
I've never seen anything like
60 minutes, there was 5 up, and they were just absolutely coasting, weren't they?
Yeah, he's one of the easiest games football will ever play.
Yeah.
And I know a lot's been made about no West Ham player got a booking. That is quite a good barometer of it, to be honest with you, that there was no fight. We are disgraceful. I wish we could throw out all of that squad bar Bowen.
Yeah, it's weird because normally I'd be fuming at performances like that. But I actually think most of them are actually giving their best. Like you've got pros like James Ward-Prowse in there. Souček, he's another one. He's a fighter. He
don't give up. But but then you've got to look at, is it this system, the manager's plan, that is absolutely ripping us apart? Because he did change it at half-time, hauled to Debo off and Fulkrug. He did change it, which then begs to answer, why did he not do it once in pre-season? So they're playing that system, the 4 at the back, for the first time since last season.
Yeah. I mean, what I was going to say is that I actually think the most worrying thing about it is I actually think they are doing their best. They're just nowhere near good enough. They're nowhere near quick enough to get close to Chelsea's midfielders. Like they can't physically do it. And so, what can you do if you can't get nowhere near them? There's not a lot you can do. There should have been more fight. There should have been, especially I think there was a period in the first half where Chelsea played a 1-2 with each other about 10 times. I don't know if you remember that.
And he put his foot on top of the ball as well, and was just walking with it, rolling it with his studs.
like things like that. You can't just allow them to do
No.
that. And there was no fight. But I just think these players are just nowhere near good. I kind of feel sorry for them because I know they're just nowhere near good enough. And that's the more worrying thing. I don't think there's a lot we can do about it. However, what I was just going to say is it seems like we've gone backwards since last season, like with the conceding of the goals and stuff like that. And it's basically the same team. So what was that there? Do you know what I mean? I just don't understand where last season he come in and he made us.
So I've got a coffee here. Won't we? Keep going.
He made us, a little bit more sort of resolute. We weren't conceding as many goals. It was more solid. But then this season with basically the same team, a couple of additions, and we've gone backwards.
Well, yeah, as we say, a couple of additions. Stuart.
Yeah.
And the hapless Aguerd is back. It wasn't good enough. Never has been good enough.
No.
He's useless in the Premier League. The amount of arguments I had last year, bring back Aguerd, we need Aguerd. I said he's fucking shit. Tadibo, he's completely pony. See Jamie Redknapp's interview after the game?
Yeah.
Couldn't have said it any better, could he? He was like, West Ham need 5 or 6 players. He said, Tadibo, I wouldn't have signed him anyway. They are rubbish. Kilman, useless. Useless. They're bog average players. That's why they were at team. That's why Kilman was at the team that was going down. They're not good enough. They've had us over. All these clubs have had us over time after time after time. And that Chelsea performance was just, I was watching it. Do you know what? We conceded from 3 corners. Like, how bad have you got to be to concede from 3 corners, right? Especially when most of that team has been taught by Moyes. So they know what to do, right? Bowen knows how to defend them. Souček knows how to defend them. Aguerd was under Moyes. Who else did we have there under Moyes? Wan-Bissaka wasn't. But yet, look, you've got a core of that team that was under James Ward-Prowse. They know what to do under David Moyes talking about corners. We were the best at it. Not one of. We were Arsenal. Everyone talking about Arsenal. No one ever gave us plaudits when we were that good at it. It was like, boring old West Ham only scored from corners. Now Arsenal, they're the fantastic team from corners, We don't ever look like scoring a corner, ever.
No.
We look like conceding every single one.
Yeah, we're all over the place, aren't we?
The keeper is useless. To the point of now you have to take him out the starting lineup. Like, you can't keep him in there. So now we're back to, we've got the geezer we didn't want in goal. And he knows it. Big problems.
It just beggars belief, doesn't it? I mean, we were saying in the summer, like, you might as well, a goalkeeper wasn't priority.
Nowhere near. Areola was good enough to get us through.
Well, and you keep Fabianski on for another year as a backup.
I still agree Fabianski was the best keeper.
I love Fabianski, and I agree with that as well.
If Fabianski hasn't got a club, I would call him today and I'd have him back in the sticks. Because these lot ain't good enough. He is better than what they are. Still.
I agree.
Did he go to a club in the end?
I don't know. No, I don't know if he's got another club.
Like, I would be looking at Fabianski as to come in today. Come in. We'll take you on for another year. Because as you say, we need the money for elsewhere.
I just don't understand why we bought a goalkeeper when we need midfielders. It doesn't make any sense.
Is not up to this league. Unfortunately.
No.
I think he will get chances and I think he will score goals. I've got to give him his thing, and I don't want him there, neither do you. He's Callum Wilson, I thought, come on and did try his hardest.
He's done all right.
But he's past his sell-by date. We haven't got the best Callum Wilson. We've got an old Callum Wilson, who's not. We've got an old Danny Ings. It's the same man. Nothing that is not a slight on Callum Wilson. He's just older. I watched Liverpool yesterday. Virgil van Dijk is older. He is not the same Virgil van Dijk as he was 2 years ago. Simple as that. Age does that to you. Mo Salah, exactly the same. They're not going to get better. And that's where you look, and that's where I think we'll go into it. But the Chelsea game, it's come out now that Potter's, the old usual, 2 games. Give you 2 games. Knowing there's an easy win against Wolves tonight, maybe. And then what is it? Another 2 games? When you get down to a manager of you're on 2 games to go, get rid of them. But we will have no contingency plan of who's coming in right now. It'll be when we sack him, we start looking. You know it, didn't you?
No, of course. That's exactly what happened. But I don't think they're giving 2. I think they're giving a lot longer than 2 games. They
always do it, don't they?
Yeah,
2 games, then you win 1, then you get another couple. You get the rest of the month, then lose 4 more. 2 games again, get a draw. We've done it with Bilic, Allardyce, Pellegrini.
Yeah.
Tip from last year, Lopetegui, Moyes, all of them. String them out. You know what it is? And I actually do believe it now, is they hope they'll quit.
Yeah. Yeah.
No man, let me tell you, if they're listening today, no manager is ever quitting because they're going to get paid up. Neither would I. I'd sit there smoking a cigar every day.
Why? Yeah. Why would you?
Like, Graham Potter is not good enough for our club. I'm under that thing, but I also feel the club has massively let him down also.
Yeah.
We sold our best player. We all thought we didn't. We sold our best player in Kudos for actually quite cheap in today's market. He's making a mockery of us at Spurs already. And with a good manager, it's showing.
He was brilliant. And I watched their game the weekend. He was brilliant. Even his work rate. He was doubling up. Come on. Who did they play on the weekend? Spurs?
Man City.
City, yeah. So
they're the best team in the league, basically.
Doku come on, or Doku started, I can't remember. But they obviously knew he was a massive threat. And Kudus was doubling up every single time.
I watched it. He was brilliant.
And he was brilliant, wasn't he? And it's so hard.
He was the player we saw 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's so hard to actually find players as good as him and get them into your club.
This is what West Ham fans never realised last year, and I said it last year. The system was killing our better players. That's why no one else plays this shitty system. In actual fact, there's one other team that play it, and they're called Manchester United, and they're doing exactly the same. If you haven't got the right players playing that system, you cannot play it.
That's exactly right.
Listen, me and you know even better. We played a wing-back system nearly our whole adult life. But we had wing-backs that could play it, and we had the centre-halves that could play it. We had a sweeper and a centre-half that won everything. Wing-backs that could play it, forward players, and an amazing midfield. So we had the right players for that system. And that's why we won everything. But if you don't, you cannot do it. Because it's funny because obviously I was one of them wing-backs. I find it easy to play that position, but it's funny, a lot of people, I don't understand how a professional footballer finds that hard to do. But if you're not a very good crosser of a ball, then I suppose you might find it hard to do because you might just be good at defending.
But if you're the best crosser in the world, then you'll find it far easier, Sam, won't you?
Universe, Addy. Universe. Yeah.
On that note, Wan-Bissaka. What has happened to him, by the way, this season?
And what do you reckon's happened to him?
And is it playing as a wing-back in this system?
Because he's a right-back.
Because he's been
poor. Really poor. He was at fault for 2 goals Monday. But as you say, Wan-Bissaka has not gone overnight to be a poor player. Mohamed Kudus never went overnight to be a poor player. I can't believe that. That didn't happen. Alvarez didn't go from being quite good in that first year. He got too many bookings and that was a big problem. They did not go to being rubbish overnight. Simple. It did not happen. The formation changed under Lopetegui and now Potter. If you remember, Lopetegui's one was he used to push the wing-backs as high as possible and the defence was as high as possible with no pace in it. And then the ball just went over the top of us every time. Potter's he's got defenders that cannot defend no midfield that can control the game, and wing backs that are they really wing backs? I don't know. So it doesn't work. It's simple as that. You're trying to push people into this system. It does not work. So it's just, that's where my blame on Potter is.
It'd be interesting to see if, because clearly it's not working, and clearly he must know he drastically has to change things. So do you think he'll start with the formation? Or do you think he will, because he's been persistent with this all summer.
I would think, and I think we'll all agree on this, Mavropanos comes into the team immediately.
He'll play tonight.
An actual defender. I might even be pushed. Right now, we need to stop the rot. I might even be pushed to put Kilman, Aguerd, or Wan-Bissaka in the midfield, and make one of them a midfielder. Now, that's dangerous, obviously, but we need some pace in there. Without it, we are not going to win games. So have one of them as a holding midfielder, maybe. I think Mavropanos starts whatever. Areola goes in goal. This kid actually needs a rest. I feel a bit sorry for him now. We could ruin him. Keep playing him. He may never come back.
Yeah.
So that's what I would do. I'd probably start Wilson. I would go 4-3-3. Even though, as I say it, I think who plays centre half that he's gonna see. That was another thing that I thought. Could Alvarez play centre half? I know he's not there now, but could Alvarez have played centre half next to someone? I don't know, but good tackler.
Yeah,
and I was I was reading something on Alvarez yesterday, I think it was, about why is he so poor at West Ham compared to like in Mexico or in Ajax. They said because he had pace next to him on all them occasions. He had pace.
Yeah.
And he just won player of the tournament, the Gold Cup. So that's what I mean. You can't go from winning player of the tournament in a national tournament, player of the tournament, not like you did all right, of a whole tournament, and to being rubbish. I know some people's game doesn't suit the Prem, and I think like Aguerd is one of those. And
do you think Alvarez doesn't fancy him as a player, or do you think he's fallen out with him?
I'd love to know.
Yeah.
He's just left that club, and none of us know what's gone on. One of our biggest signings and what we thought would be get us money if we did sell him has just left for nothing, and it will be a loss when we lose it, when we leave him now. And nothing's been said.
Just bizarre. Just so bizarre.
And it's funny that I did see that on, I think it was on Claret and Booze yesterday, where he was saying like people are so heavily NDA'd at West Ham that...
Is that right?
Which does make sense, because he said, when have you ever heard a ex-manager ever come out and say anything bad about like our ownership or anything like that? Which is quite mad, isn't it?
We hardly ever hear anyone come out and say anything bad about
that. When he said it, I was like, oh, wow. Now you got a man with Alvarez there who everyone wants to know what's gone on with West Ham. Nothing's been said. Just moved out. You've not heard that he's fallen out with the manager. Nothing. Is he a bad egg? I don't know. Maybe he's not. We've heard that he's a bad egg, but is that true? That's the thing with West Ham. You don't know anything what's true at all, because the communication is so bad, and we get fed the line when we want to be fed the line. Really. Anything else about the Chelsea result before we sort of move on to transfers that you can think of?
No, I mean, obviously we spoke a little bit about the keeper, and just looking at him, he just looks. He's obviously he's not very big. Two, again, he's not a. You'd think that they'd get someone in who who replaces the things that Alvarez isn't so good at. But he doesn't look as though he can command his box. He doesn't look as though he's a shouter, a commander.
He looks worse on the corner than Areola.
He does. And I think that's purely because of his stature. He looks so small. He can't get anywhere near it. So that was worrying. And it's just,
but again, there at corner, right? I'm glad you just said that, because when we was watching this game, I was watching it, right? I'm looking at Casado at the back post, right? And I'm going to everyone on the TV, 25 scores, ball comes over. Like, it was right over here. I could see where he was. Comes over, he scores, and someone looks at me and went, how the hell did you see that? I said, well, if I can see it, how can no one else see it? How can the management not see that? And then on the corner, the lap on the keeper on his own. Now, if my kids' team, like James's team, did that, I would go mad. That is the most basic of defending that you learn when you're 8 years of age, that you would never let someone just stand on the keeper. Ever. For that exact reason. Because he can't come out. Because you're going to just stop him. Especially if you've got a big geezer on him. Can't get round you. Just stand there. It's the easiest thing I've ever seen. In actual fact, but that's where I say that is just appalling and lack of effort or whatever it is, because that is no ability to stop that. Me and you could have gone into West Ham and done that job of getting him out the way of the keeper, whether we can play Premiership football or not.
Do you think they would? Because obviously they could see him and that they were letting him do it. So do you think they've been told to let him do it? But then,
well, I hope so, because otherwise, I think that we've got the worst defensive setup in history. Actually. That same answer is to both sides of that question, actually.
Yeah.
Because if you've actually said, don't put someone on him, then you really shouldn't be managing in football, because you wouldn't do that in an under-8s game. Like, you wouldn't. It's just simple as that. You would never let your keeper be one-on-one with a striker, ever. Because what's going to happen?
So the keeper's worry, and it seems like we're going to go back to Areola, which it's not yet. Like, obviously, we can improve on Areola.
It's just 20 mil that's down the drain that we didn't need to spend. Bizarre. That we're back to the square one.
Just bizarre. Again, I thought Kyle Walker-Peters, when he come on, looked bright. I thought he'd done all right. And fair
I'd play him. I think I'd be playing him right back at the moment.
Do you know what? I think he deserves it in his performance.
So do I. I'd put Mavropanos, Kyle Walker-Peters. As I say, I'd change the midfield. I don't know what you change it with. No. I don't think Freddie Potts is the answer. I really don't.
No,
sadly.
I think I tend to agree with you there.
And I say that sadly, but he should be being used sparingly when we're up in games to not kill him. This is what you do not do to youngsters, is just throw them in when they're not Premier League ready. Yeah, and unfortunately, we've got nothing else. So it's kind of like, sacrifice his career. And I feel sorry for him, because I'm not having a go at him. He shouldn't be running the game in midfield at his age.
No, I agree. Lucas Paquetá.
Yeah, well, let's move on to transfers.
Yeah, I mean, just with him, I know there's not enough time in the window to sort of replace him, really. But would you, if we got, say, 50 mil, a bid come in, 50 mil, would you sell Paquetá?
There's a long and short of that. The answer is yes, because I think he's been, again, like Kudos, terribly poor. Mm. He plays in a midfield where there's no midfield. Think that obviously hampers him.
Yeah, that's true.
He showed what he can do the other night with that beautiful goal. I think the problem is he's in a team which is useless. And I think he's not going to be he's not Scott Parker.
No, this is true.
Or Mark Noble, or Steven Gerrard, who's going to rally the rest of them around them. We haven't got that man, and he's not that man. Mm. Would I, if I thought we could...
I guess I was looking
to go and get others in, right? And then what you're going to do is go and spend 50 million split on 3 players, right? So then what are you actually getting in for that?
Yeah.
Because I've just seen that Spurs, and I think this is a bit of gamesmanship with Spurs with Paquetá, because I think Spurs, which I'm so shocked if they'll let him go, is their target is Morgan Rogers at Villa, which I was shocked that Villa would be entertaining that. But I think Villa are in big trouble PSR. So they're saying 100 mil for him. But Spurs are trying to get it down. But then Villa then could go and buy Paquetá to replace Morgan Rogers for that 50, and we've all got a bit of money and that. Would I sell him to Spurs? Absolutely not. And I think, and I urge the owners, if any of them are watching, that if you do that, I would never go back to the club, because they will that will be the now. If you sold Paquetá to Spurs, that will be it. Villa will be bad enough. Spurs, their gloves are off then. It's all out war if that happens. And I think that'd be the stupidest thing they'll ever do.
Yeah, I agree. However, I do feel like if Spurs are interested, they will definitely think. They're definitely thinking about it.
And it looks like we're going to replace him, Basuma from Spurs, who Spurs don't want anymore because of his attitude problems and lateness, I think, and all these things.
Yeah, which obviously is not great.
Is it right profile to be bringing into your club?
What's that?
Is it your right profile to be bringing into your club? But this is the problem, and we'll go on. So let's go. Look, we'll finish on transfers. So we cover Paquetá. It looks like we're signing a player today from Monaco. No idea what his name is. Never heard of him. But I don't watch French football, so I can't. That's not fair. 21-year-old on 20 mil signing. It doesn't really ring to me that this is someone that has been thought of. And then this other kid, Hayden Hackney at Middlesbrough. Apparently there's bids out for 6 players at the moment. So we are on full scattergun mode at the minute. Doesn't really make sense. We've let Alvarez go, and Emerson's going to be gone this week for nothing. To be honest with you, I would still be playing Emerson.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
I'd be starting Emerson tonight at left back with Cole Walker-Peters at right back, Mavropanos, which is ridiculous, with one of the other 3 donkeys next to him. Probably Kilman. But we know Mavropanos and Kilman don't work anyway, so we've already been down that road as well. But Emerson's, I think, better than this Diouf. Everyone thought Diouf was the one because he puts a lovely ball in, but I don't think he can defend. That ball he played to Paquetá the other day, like out the back, was absolutely outrageous when he could have just cleared it. Paquetá take the heavy touch and they win again. But the other, who else are we linked with? It seems to be, we're full on, as say, spraying them everywhere. I saw a report yesterday that said we're on to our 16th midfield target.
The weird thing is, like, obviously with, I know it's just ridiculous, isn't it? With Alvarez leaving, like if he was playing for someone else, he'd probably be the exact type of player. Obviously, he hasn't got legs.
So we're trying to buy
that, someone who's with experience, leadership, up for the fight. Do you know what I mean? It'd be exact type of play.
Imagine him in the old recruitment strategy room. Holding midfielder, captain of his nation. So was Alvarez. Who? No, he's gone out on loan. But it is. So that's what I wanted to talk. Like the club, obviously. The club looks like it's unravelling at the seams. To be honest with you, to me, like it's. All the plasters have finally come off. It's like the big London stadiums filled up with water, and now it's sprung leaks everywhere. And I think that's a discussion of how would you like the thing. But I think, like, we got to look back at transfers has been obviously probably the club's biggest area of failure because we have spent money. So, but not wisely. And even I was thinking of yesterday, even with Steiden, there was no plan because of what we bought in.
Yeah, and for him, all he is thinking about is his job and, making himself look good for now. He's not thinking about the future of West Ham. And I dare say, why should he? But really...
But also maybe he didn't have the structure that should be set up in that sense.
Exactly.
And this is why clubs have a structure. Like I'm sure Edu, for example, now in charge of like Forest and everything, and maybe that's not a good example because of Nunu and everything's going on there, and maybe ownership a bit like ours, to be honest with you. But let's take them out of it. Let's just think of I'll use Jim Ratcliffe as an example, right? Because I don't think Manchester United is run very well, but he's gone in there and he's trying. Mm. They've identified a kind of player. It's funny because you can't even use them because they're failing. It hasn't, right? But he's gone in and fixed the training ground straight away, right? It's funny. I'm using failed systems that I don't actually mean to be using. Chelsea. We'll use Chelsea because everyone thought that was an idiotic what their owners were doing. No, not one of us saw what they were actually doing. And I don't know if they've meant to do it or it's just worked out that way. But what they've done is they've bought an age group of players, a complete demographic of players. They clearly like strong, quick. That's why you see a lot of like African heritage players at Chelsea. That they've got this. That's what there's clearly even a body style they're going for. It's very clear in their DNA what they're looking at with resale value. Now, Chelsea, I think, are up for nearly nil in this transfer window. And Liverpool, there's another one as well. Players out. Coming in and out. Brighton, obviously we know Brighton, Brentford. They have a very clear model. We don't. We buy anything and everything. And I don't disagree. You know, like people have said, West Ham makes signings in the last few days of the window to save the money of the wages. I actually now do actually think that's true.
No, I totally do as well.
I actually think that is part of our strategy, which someone should be able to say, wake the fuck up. This is absolutely outrageous.
It's ridiculous.
To save a few weeks. And this is the problem. Maybe we're completely wrong with that. But then you're looking and going, why are we always trying to sign people at the last minute? On the cheap or what? I don't know. We'd like to know why we do it this way because it's not working. Stevie Wonder can see it's not working.
Well,
like that's
all of the clubs obviously know at the last minute we're desperate as well, and they're just going to put their prices up. Do you know what I mean? It makes no sense.
Or give us the stuff they want rid of.
Yeah. It just, I mean, like you said, there's just no strategy at all around transfers, and that has really killed us over these last few years.
Would you be happy if the club said, "Okay, look, we're struggling on transfers, but this is what we're going to do to restructure the club, like training ground, hiring the right people in right jobs, marketing." All these things. Like, would you be, as a West Ham fan, would you be happy?
Yeah, I would be happy.
Because obviously fans want instant success. We all want signings.
Yeah, no, but for me, that's what we need to do. We have to be a club like that. Yeah, like, I don't see how else
you should be run.
Yeah, really. You know, we're not going to challenge the big boys in terms of, you know, those massive transfer fees for big signings and stuff like that. So we need a structure in place that allows us to compete by getting, you know, youngsters in with massive potential and stuff like that, and not paying fortunes for them, but having all the structure and infrastructure around that will allow them to progress and develop.
Which, to be fair to Nottingham Forest, they've gone out and stolen Arsenal's man. They've gone out and they've spent money there. They've gone, this guy, he knows something. We're going to get him. You're coming in, and not only heading their global recruitment for the whole of all their different clubs. So they're structuring it all the same, and that's where they think Nunu's probably had a fallout with Edu and things like that, where he doesn't like things being taken away from him. But that's what Forest are saying. This is our clear plan. Now, with Forest, that might change. That could be a bit like West Ham because the ownership, things like that. But at least they're having a clear idea. That's what we need to do.
Oh, we have to do that. We won't, but we have to, that's the way it should be.
We've said it before. What's Nobes' job at West Ham?
Yeah,
Mark's a good friend of mine, and this is not a dig at Mark.
I don't know how to bring it up, but
no. And this is not a dig at Mark, right? At all. I feel we brought Mark in, the perfect person to be the liaison between the fans and the board.
Perfect person.
Could anyone at West Ham tell you what Mark Noble's job is? Do you know?
Well, I have no idea. Absolutely no idea.
All I know is he went in to do one job, and now I think he does something with the academy. So,
no idea what he does.
And again, that's not a dig at Mark at all. That's a dig at the club. Because how have we got the club legend working at the club in a senior position? Because they say sporting director, right? They still announce him as sporting director. That doesn't address the fans, doesn't tell us anything that's going on. And I'm sure that's not Mark saying to, fuck that, I ain't speaking to the fans or anything like that. I know Mark, I know that ain't the case. So what have we have him there for? We basically have brought him in, I felt like an Edu or someone like that to sit below. And I actually thought, great, that now we've got that go-between, we ain't used him. So is he there just because it was a good bit of PR at the time to say Mark's doing this, give him a wage, we look like we're the good guys? Exactly. Was it that?
I mean, that's what it looks like, doesn't it?
It does. I've got to be honest with you, it does. And
look like that.
That's why I actually look, as I say, I know David Sullivan and Jack really well. I really, really like them as people. They have been nothing but gentlemen to me every time I've ever met them. So I will never slag them off personally at all. Or their dad, things like that. That's where I feel I would love the opportunity to be able to bring it all together and say, how can we speak to the fans? Like, if you're not going anywhere, we've said this before, you can't just get rid of owners, right? I know there's this petition going around, and I know they think they're going to just get them to step down and all this, but then if they leave, do you think they're going to just leave by not selling the club? But you need someone to buy it as well. And if it's on the cheap, who are you getting in? I do think there is a way that we can get back to almost where we were at the cup run, where we was on good terms with our ownership. I felt it was really good terms, actually, because it was going well. And there was a process and things like that. Yes, I think the results actually are covered up for a lot of what was going on. And actually, I think it's where you see David Moore has actually done better than we actually even gave him credit for. Although, again, was part of the problem for making an aging squad. Mm-hmm. So he shouldn't have been allowed to do it. And that's where you've got to have sort of, I'd love to get, if we could get like a group of fans together, rather than going for stupid protests which get violent and ugly and no one wins. Fans look stupid, the owners, nothing happens, and the fraction just becomes bigger and bigger, and then it all spills over onto the football pitch, and it just everything gets worse, doesn't it? We've been down that road. It doesn't work. If we could get like a group of fans together, and then we could get the owners together and actually talk, because it would be nice to then say, what is going on? Who's going to speak to us, the media, anymore? Because I don't think it should be the owners. It shouldn't be Karen Brady. It shouldn't be David Sullivan. They've had their go at it and they're not good at it. We got Mark there. How can we make better use of Mark? Is Mark the right man for the job? Is he not? What's the scouting network look like? What does Cole McCauley, we've paid £1 million to get this guy from Chelsea. What's his network look like? What is our philosophy? Who are we? I couldn't tell you anymore. Could not tell you what West Ham is. We use that West Ham way in the academy to use it. It's words. Allardyce said it. What is the West Ham way? Losing. And he was completely right. That West Ham way hasn't existed since the last person you saw it was Harry. That's 30 years ago. So what do you think the answer is to it all?
I mean, it's really tough, Sam, to be honest with you. But I think the very, very first thing that needs to be done is them to accept they are not competent on the football sides of running a football club. They may be more competent business-wise.
Yeah.
Although, with some of the signings and, the way that's run, you wouldn't, it doesn't suggest that. But they need to accept they are not competent on the football side of things of a football club. And they need to get other people to do it. And
skilled professionals.
Might mean going out there and finding the best people around or the best up-and-coming people around. But they should leave it to someone else. And I know it's their money. And it's easy for us to say because it's not our money and it's not our business.
No, but I also am sure they don't want it to go bad. I'm pretty certain of that. I don't think any West Ham fan thinks David Sullivan and Karen Brady hate West Ham and want us to go down or anything like that. I don't agree with that because I hear some people saying that and that's just stupidity.
Ridiculous. Yeah, ridiculous.
Because the better West Ham do, the better they're going to do.
Exactly. But I do think that's the very, very first thing. And, the sooner they can do that, the better. But it's a process, Sam, and everything takes time. Even if now they think, right, yeah, we're not. They go out and try and look for personnel who are really good at this stuff. It all takes time. And
like the Tim Steidten, for example, it hasn't worked. But was he given a style? Was he given a player profile? Or was it just said, go and get us the players? Now, if that was the MO to him, that's what he did. He delivered on he delivered on his promise, if that was a thing. Again, we don't know. You tell me what's Chelsea's MO, I can tell you it right now, and I'm not even a fan of the club. It's young players with resale value. That is exactly what it is. And they're going to, some of them will play, some of them won't, but they'll sell them on for more money. And that is, the long and short of it, best up-and-coming talent in Europe.
And that's the business model. And that's a brilliant business model.
Now, we can't compete with Chelsea on that, okay? As might be having to deal with Chelsea for some of them players coming away from there a little bit. But it means we've got to have a better scouting network. What can we offer? We can offer playing in the first team to maybe getting your next move to Chelsea or Liverpool or etc. And we have to accept that's who we are. We can't accept that we're going to challenge with the big boys. But I've always said, I don't think our owners have ever understood, if you were just honest with West Ham fans and built a team not with loads of money, that everyone that runs around, tries hard and has some youth in it, people would be quite happy. I really do. And I'm assured of that. I don't think they realise how easier it could be on them as well. The problem is when you start saying world-class stadium with a world-class team and Champions League football and da-da-da-da-da, that's when it bites you on the arse. Mm. Because you look now and go, well, we ain't got a world-class stadium. It's awful. And actually, the voice of West Ham fans, it's funny, it's hearing people now, the amount of people that don't go anymore. And they say tourists are in their place. And it's funny, it's what I never considered really at all.
No, I never dreamt that would happen. But I went to the Chelsea game. I couldn't believe it. Just so many tourists, so many people in the area where I sit who were season ticket holders. Just so many new faces, just tourists. And it's like I couldn't honestly believe it that our club, like West Ham, has come to that.
And that's where what you get with the this is where if we could bridge that gap. And do you know what? madly in my own head, I actually think I can do it. Like and maybe that's why I'm doing this podcast to speak to them before it gets completely out of hand, because it is going to get completely out of hand. I know it is.
He's on the
and I
verge.
don't want that for him. As I say, I care about them as people. They've been lovely to me, and I'm not going to just slag people off just because I don't like the way the club's run or something like that. I do think there's a very, very fixable answer for all parties. I really do. And I know people want them to step down or something like that. But I actually think if that is even the case, that they were looking at that to pass the club on to be more profitable for them. Like I see it so easy with West Ham, what is needed to be done. I didn't realise that we watched that video. Who was that video done by? It was unbelievable. That who wasn't a West Ham fan. It's about 45 minutes long.
Yeah, I don't know who done that. Actually.
Brilliant video. If anyone's on YouTube, I'm going to find it because it's on our group, isn't it? It's on the Mr. Moon group. Let me just find it quickly because all West Ham fans should see this. Here it is. It's called "What on Earth is Going On at West Ham?" And the screenshot is Graham Potter. So if any of you see it, there it is there. What is going on at West Ham? It's about a 45-minute video, isn't it? And he's not even a West Ham fan, but he goes for us financially, about the club, about the managerial. He really dives into it. And I actually never realised East London was the biggest demographic in London for fans. No idea about that, because then we get Essex as well, and we're the only one club in that East London that are in the top flight, so we haven't got to share fans. So actually you look at it and you think the marketing potential we've got in London is huge. We can be a big club. I'm convinced of it.
Yeah,
maybe
I
not
agree.
without funding, like a new funding, and that goes with any of the other clubs, Spurs as well, that you can't break that next level. And even with it, actually, you look at Newcastle and Villa and that, they haven't even been able to do it. But we could be so much bigger and more well-run than we are. We've got the best support ever. Like a stadium that has 65,000 in it. Now, whether that's real West Ham fans or not is another thing.
It definitely was.
We always used to be. I think over the last couple of years, people have disappeared. But again, how can we re-engage them? If the football comes back, how can we make it more fun for them? How can we bring back the real West Ham fan? Because I think that's something that is quite authentic about us, is most of our fan base is born into West Ham, not chose West Ham, which is quite rare to other fan bases. Spurs a little bit the same, I would say. Newcastle, definitely the same. But a lot of other fan bases, you choose to support that team. Everton would be the same. Like they're clubs that you born and you support that team, which is quite a thing. So how then can we go and get other ones to choose support West Ham as well? But I just think if you restructure this club with the right people, business people in every level, let's say I'm not your man to go out scouting for West Ham, but what I'm saying is I could easily say, where's our scouting department? Let me have a look at it. Right. Just show me Brighton, show me Brentford's. Okay, why have we got 3 people and they got 333? There you go. An idiot could work it out. And then you've got to work out the money. Are we overpaying players? Should we have a wage cap? Should there be a wage cap on age groups? Like Liverpool, Chelsea, we don't sign players over 30. They've just done it on Salah and obviously Van Dijk. Once in a blue moon, you're going to break the mould. And that's it. But maybe this year they'll look at both of them and go, that's why we don't do it. Because of that reason. And I just feel there is a definite bridge to be gapped here with the ownership. If we could just all sit down before the lunacy takes hold, because it is taking hold. We're going to lose again tonight. It's ramped even more. And it's just going to be scattergun, bringing in more players that we've got no resale value because we've just thrown everything at it. I don't know. And as I say, we need to have succession planning for managers. What way are we going to play? What is our style? That's the manager we get. Right. From now on, we only look at managers that play this style. Here's our list of 10 people at all times. Let's engage them as it starts getting a bit bad. Number 1 to number 10. Okay, we know who's coming in. We'll let you go. Russell Martin done a thing with Lineker today. Did you see? He said when he got sacked from Southampton, he knew it was coming. They lost us 5-0 to Spurs, I think. And he said, he went in, he said, I said to the boys that I'm probably gone today. He said, I went out and they went, he said, am I doing a press conference? And they said, do the press conference, but we've already typed up a statement. He said, all right, just release it in the morning. They said, no, go upstairs tonight. And he said, when it was done, the new manager was announced. It was like, and Martin O'Neill, sorry, I'm getting confused between two clips. Martin O'Neill got told by Forest, goodbye, in the office. He was in the office at the training ground, and one of the players come in and said, Gaffer, I take it like it's all done. I've seen we've just signed thingy. He said I hadn't even left the building and they'd announced it. Yeah. But they knew who was coming in. We don't. We have no idea who's coming in.
No.
But that's where you should have a committee at all times on it. And then the owner just goes and enjoys the football. Like, go there and watch it with your family. And actually, if your boys want to be a part of that, great. Like, why would you not want them to be a part of it? If I own the club, I'd want my sons to be a part of it. Overseeing things and doing things. 100%. And I don't think any West Ham fan begrudges that. But when it's the bad decision after decision after decision, then you can't stick and say this is right.
No. Totally agree. I totally agree with everything you've just said there.
And that's what's frustrating.
You just wonder why they just can't see it themselves.
Or maybe they can, but they don't know. Maybe there's no way back for them. You know, like they don't want to admit they were wrong, or maybe that is all it is. Sometimes in life, you know, like we've all been pig-headed. Mm-hmm. You want to say sorry, you know you've done it, but you just say, fuck that friendship, you know, like. Yeah. But really, you want to say, you know what, we're both cunts here, but let's. And I don't think the West Ham fans are blameless either. We have got a fan base of deluded idiots. Me included, you included, all of us. We all want better. And maybe it needs someone, again, if Mark Noble come out and said after the European Cup, listen, let's not get carried away here because we haven't got that money to challenge. We want to have a good go. We're going to try and strengthen the team. We're going to try and keep going for another cup. People go, all right. All of a sudden, the expectation's just gone like that of, we're going to go and sign £100 million player. We're going for the Champions League next year. And maybe it does need that because our fan base gets carried away, like Newcastle fans, like Spurs. It's funny. I just had to go at Spurs fans. Spurs fans won 2 games. Probably the best midfield since Liverpool's title-winning midfield. It's like, really? Like, got Geezer from Bayern Munich, good Paulina, it's done all right. You know, like, Sarr, would anyone else take him? Bentancur, I wrote on it, I said, I've seen this week that Jed Spence is one of the best defenders in the world. You know, like, they lose their crap, but so do we.
Yeah, we do. We get
Arsenal do it, we've done it. And I think that's where maybe... and that's where I don't think it's just the owners to blame at West Ham. Or, like, you have to blame them with decisions. The fan base also doesn't help. We don't give managers time. We don't, like, you know, like we are poison as well.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I do agree with some of that. You know, expectations, just being a bit more realistic. But I generally think, like we said earlier, I generally think West Ham fans, like the massive, you know, West Ham are massive. We know it's
tongue in cheek.
It's tongue in cheek, and we know that, and we just want a team to be proud of. a team that represents us and a team to be proud. And I think most West Ham fans, that is all they want. Yes, we would love to shoot for the stars, and we should shoot for the stars. But inside, we should also be realistic about what we can achieve. Under Moyes, and you was saying it at the time, actually, we were so massively overachieving. Yet a lot of West Ham fans thought, this is the standard now. Now we're going to push on Champions League.
Look, we uncracked a gem in Craig Dawson. We uncracked a gem in Jesse Lingard. Antonio, when Moyes came there, was finished at West Ham. Cresswell, finished at West Ham at that time. They were useless. Do you remember him and Fredericks used to give a goal away each week?
Yeah.
Moyes, he uncracked a gem there that he kind of got something out of them that no one else could. And maybe we got lucky. Maybe that is actually the truth. We got lucky with them. Lingard never went anywhere else and played football. Like, maybe it was just a bit of luck and the right time, and that's what you need in football. Dawson, none of us were happy. Again, where you say our fan base, everyone went mad, me included, when we signed Craig Dawson. If you ask West Ham who's the best West Ham player in the last 10 years, I bet you it'd be nearly number one. And so that's where we don't get it right all the time.
No.
But yeah, I do. I just think there's an opportunity here, and I know what's going to happen. I know when these protests start, it's going to go over the top because I can feel it already. Like everyone's on board right now. There's already 10,000 opposition signatures on the petition, so it'll get carried away, and then there's no. Where'd you go from there? Then it will be the Ashley situation of, I ain't doing nothing for you lot anymore. And no one's going to win from it. There could be a way where we can all coexist here and actually get back to better times. I don't know. Maybe there's not. Maybe you have a conversation and they say, bollocks, Sam, what do you know? We're doing great. And you go, okay, like, I don't agree, but you watch them rip the house down here.
I just feel at the minute I'm not going to benefit from it being them and us.
No,
and that's how it feels at the minute. And you know, I can understand why, but we need all the help we can get at the minute, and we need to stick together, and we need to come together.
Because we will go down. And if we go down, we could go out of it. We could go into extinction quite easily, because we've got a massive stadium and there might be no people in it. As you say, if that real West Ham fan stops going and tourists don't want to go to championship games, then we're going to have a big problem. And then the team's not as good. Don't think it can't happen to us. I can see this one being bad. I don't know why. Yeah. We've got a lot of players on big money. Like, we might not be able to get rid of them to get money in, where then you're tearing up contracts and having to pay them off. Like, is anyone going to come in and buy Tadibo? Aguerd? Callum Wilson? Like, these people, Ward-Prowse, they'll have years left on their contracts. And they can't do it. If you put this team in the championship, it would not do well. So
I agree.
That's where you look and you go, like, we could be in big trouble, because we've got no youth, what it looks like to me, coming through. And that's a big problem at West Ham. That should be the pride of place for us, is the youth. And it's not. And now I want to know why. We can't go around calling ourselves the Academy of Football, and that's our brand, with no academy players. It makes no sense. Like, everyone has academy players pretty much playing from now. Chelsea, City, Liverpool last night, everyone, Newcastle, but except West Ham, we don't have any, and that's a big problem. That should be our money, part of our money, or saving us money.
Yeah, that should be.
I'd like to know if someone's running that academy. I want to know what the fuck's going on. Why are we not producing a player? If not, get me someone that will. Who's the man that produces players here in London? Right, I want you. Come here. How much you want at Chelsea? Double it. There you go. Want to come West Ham? Yeah, I do. I'm in. But if you spoke to the fans and say, this is what we got to do, we got to go to our rivals and we got to nick all their best people, but this is going to cost us money that is going to impact us on transfers. You go, all right, okay, there's a plan. And let's be honest with you, putting in charge someone of the academy, for example, you're talking about not signing Alan Irvine, not... You're talking about £1 million or 500 grand. I don't know what they're on, but they ain't on 5, 10, 20 million quid. That's for sure. So go and employ the right person. Tony Carr's sitting at home. The way obviously they treated him was disgusting. Tony Carr knows more about running an academy than anyone. Go and say, Tone, come in, come back. We want you. We've been wrong. How much is it for apology to get you back working? Last I heard, when I spoke to his son, he was going down Arsenal watching.
Was he? That's
heartbroken.
Sad, just sad. Everything he'd done for the club as well.
Exactly. You got that man with that expertise just sitting around. Got Harry Redknapp sitting around.
Probably the golden era of our. I mean, back in the
What's
day,
the golden era?
Great lads coming through, but. It was the golden era, wasn't it, of lads coming through our academy?
You got Harry Redknapp sitting around. Harry, want a little job on the side? Could you be finding some loan deals or something? Have you got any skills? You're West Ham. West Ham fans love that. West Ham people. Mm. Who could we look at? Who is there? I don't know. That's just off the top of your head. Yeah, that's without even bringing anyone in. We've let the goalkeeper coach go. He's gone to Liverpool. He's at Liverpool. He obviously was pretty good at his job. He obviously weren't the problem. So that's where you look and you go, what is going on here? All these other... Rio, what are you doing? Joe Cole, I know Joe wants to get involved. Joe, what are you doing? Could you come and head up something in the academy? Could we use you, basically? Anton, Rio, not just put a suit on and sign autographs, Carlton... Have you got something else that you could do? And I don't know. Carrick is out of work. Could Carrick come in and be a sporting director or use what's available? Frank Lampard. I don't know. Do you mean there's so many people out there that we're not utilising, and maybe they're not ex-West Ham players. But I'm just giving you the sort of the sprinkling because our fans love that.
Yeah.
They love it.
Yeah.
But anyway, right, we're finishing up there because I'm pissed off enough as it is.
What are we saying?
Right, 2 predictions. Wolves?
Oh, well, I have absolutely no idea. My head tells me we'll probably lose.
Wait there, because the team will be out now. Let's have a look.
Yeah, my head tells me we'll lose narrowly. I think it might be a draw. We'll go to pens.
Lineups: Areola, Tadibo, Mavropanos, Aguerd. So he's gone 3 and he's put Mavropanos in. Djurf and Walker-Peters.
I thought we'd go strong.
Rodriguez, Ward-Prowse, Souček, Paquetá, Bowen up front on his own.
Don't help himself, old Mr. Potter, does he? Really?
Why would you have not played Callum Wilson? Callum Wilson's on the bench. Ollie Scholes is on the bench. Marshall's on the bench. Wow. Fulkrug's on the bench. So we're playing a non-striker up front. Wow. This is where I say, he's not good enough. He's simply not.
I mean,
I wish I'd even looked at it. Do you know what he's done? He's gone he's playing 3. He's playing 5 with the back and he's Ward-Prowse and Rodriguez holding, Souček and Paquetá just in front as Amir, but probably not. Souček will be in that middle with them. So we've got no width whatsoever, and then just Bowen up top. Souček's probably playing off Bowen, isn't he?
Yeah.
So basically, let's just put them all in there. All the midfield that don't work, all the combinations, just put them all together.
The
You have a
most
chance to
impressive thing
try
about
something new.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, he should be trying something new.
He's put Mavropanos is new, Areola's new, and Walker Peters. I don't think Aaron Wan-Bissaka is not on the bench. Don't know if he got a knock or he just giving him the night off. But we've got no other. Oh, we've got Skulls. Also, like no one's even thinking about African Cup of Nations yet. So we have 0 cover for wide positions. Like 0. 1 player, Ollie Skulls. Oh no, Walker Peters. You got Walker Peters and Ollie Skulls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What are you going tonight? I was going to go West Ham 1-0 win. I am going to go 2-0 Wolves.
Oh yeah.
I am off seeing that
like
team,
I said, I think my head tells me we'll lose narrowly.
They've changed a lot of players though.
Have they?
Yeah.
We might nick a draw, win on pens. That's a bit of wishful thinking.
Strand Larsen's on the bench. Like they haven't got. Don't even know who their striker is. F. Lopez.
Never heard of him.
Me either.
Forest.
He what?
What do you reckon?
Oh, Forest. I think 4-0 Forest. Yeah. We can't defend.
No. Cool, yeah. Chris
and they're a big player. Got Chris Wood up front.
And we can't.
Hudson-Odoi, like...
They like to put crosses in, and we're
that's what I mean. That's what they do. Yeah. That is what they do. They fly crosses into the box, and they got a big centre forward. They tear us to pieces. In actual fact, I would think we're probably tailor-made team that Forest would want to play. What do you think?
3-1 Forest.
3-1 Forest.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't see where our creativity is going to come from either.
No.
And if we go a goal behind, we will collapse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny, at this minute, I can't see us win the game this season. Let alone, like, in the near future. Maybe tonight, because Wolves have rested their team. Maybe tonight. But that's kind of not really a real result, is it? It's like beating Bournemouth in a pre-season friendly when they've missed 28 chances.
And can you imagine if we don't win tonight? And they have rested all their team.
Yeah, sad. Right. Anyway, thank you. I will be keep doing updates. I'll probably do an update after the game where you've probably seen that before you even see this pod. So we'll keep doing the updates. Keep sending through your questions as well, and obviously hit subscribe, anything you want to see. And as I said before, if anyone wants to come on the show, let us know, because we'd love to see difference of opinions. So, God. The good news is I'm off to New York the weekend to go and see Oasis. Again, I'm in my Oasis jumper today. Look, I'm not. I'm as far away from West Ham as I can be today. LA, my new team.
I was going to go to the Forest game as well. Definitely not now.
You couldn't pay me $1 million to go and sit through that. It's that bad. I wouldn't. There's not a chance I would even go there.
Yeah.
I said this the other day, and like, my kids don't give a shit about West Ham.
No.
They don't. But why? Really? Why would they? They're rubbish. Their whole life they've been rubbish. They saw them win a trophy, yes. They were good in that bit. But then they've been crap ever since. All they hear is they lose. I wouldn't support them. I'd go and support Madrid or someone.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it?
Kind of what they do, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
We never got that opportunity because obviously didn't have TV that showed it then. But now kids kind of like, I support Barcelona or Real Madrid. Oh, it's quite sensible. See a few Champions Leagues in time.
What a life.
Yeah,
bit different to ours.
Yeah. We're doing podcasts at 40 odd years of age, moaning about our team and deluded enough to think that you might be able to fix it. Talking about, I can't believe I even had the front to say Spurs fan base was deluded at the minute. I'm talking about actually fixing a whole Premier League club.
No, I think you're onto something, mate. I think
if you get enough of us to talk, we can. If someone comes up with a good idea, I'm sure the owners will listen to it. I really do. And that's what I do think. Anyway, come on, you irons.
Come on, you irons.